Hello, I'm Susan Woods of Susan Woods Nonprofit Solutions. Thank you for your time. You can learn about the nonprofit services I provide by visiting my website at www.trustsusanwoods.com. Today, I would like to talk with you about how to confirm your 501c3 status. How to confirm your 501c3 status to make sure that it is still in good standing with the IRS. Why are we talking about this today, and why is it so important? The IRS automatically revoked the 501c3 status for many nonprofits by mistake. Yes, the IRS automatically revoked the 501c3 status for many nonprofits by mistake. Let me explain how that happened. Earlier this year, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the IRS extended the filing deadline for the Form 990 information return until July the 15th, 2020, for those nonprofit organizations that normally had filing deadlines of April 15th, May 15th, and June 15th. So once again, in other words, if your nonprofit organization's normal filing date for the Form 990 information return is April 15th, May 15th, or June 15th, then the IRS gave you an extension to file on July the 15th. But what happened? Unfortunately, the IRS did not update that extended deadline in the system. Yes, you heard me correctly. The IRS did not update the extended deadline to July the 15th in the system. So if you were one of those organizations with a filing deadline that is normally April 15th, May 15th, or June 15th, and you decided to wait to file by the July extended deadline date, then it looked like you didn't file in time because the system didn't update your organization's extension date. So what does that mean? That means that, let's say you or your nonprofit organization was in a position where if you missed one more filing date deadline, that you would be automatically revoked, then you were automatically revoked by mistake. Remember, if you don't file your Form 990 information return for 3 consecutive years, you will lose your status, your 501c3 status. So if you fell into that category that this was the year, if you missed filing, if this was your 3rd consecutive year and you missed filing, you were revoked. If you missed filing by April 15th, May 15th, or June the 15th, if those were your normal filing dates and you missed it and you had already missed 2 consecutive years, then you were revoked by mistake. So I want to walk you through the steps to confirming that you still have 501c3 status. Because if you don't have 501c3 status, then you cannot accept any type of revenue. You can't accept grants. You cannot accept donations. You cannot accept the revenues from fundraisers. You don't have a status. Your status is revoked. So let's walk through the steps to confirm that you still have 501c3 status. Now, let me say this. If you did not, or if your normal filing deadline for your nonprofit organization is not April 15th, is not May 15th, is not June 15th, then this conversation isn't for you. It's not for you. This is for those organizations that normally have filing due dates of April 15th, May 15th, and June 15th. But it still won't hurt you to learn the steps to confirming your 501c3 status anyway. So I'm going to pause sharing just for one moment so that I can pull up the IRS website to walk you through the steps to seeing if you still have 501c3 status. I want you to be able to confirm it. So just one moment, please. I'm pulling up the IRS site where you would go to confirm not only your status, but anybody's status that has a 501c3 nonprofit organization. So let me do that quickly. Okay, let's see here. I'm trying to navigate through Zoom. So just one moment, please. I'm almost there. Thank you for your patience. Because if you follow me, you know that I like to prove what I'm saying. I don't like to just say things. I like to prove what I'm saying. So it's coming up now. And I thank you again for your patience. Okay, I just want to make sure you're seeing what I'm seeing. Yes, you are. Okay. So now we are on the IRS.gov website. And I just went to IRS.gov. You can follow this path, IRS.gov. Go to the home page, file, charities and nonprofits, and then tax-exempt organization search. Or you can just go to the search field here and type in EO Select, or you can type in the long version, tax-exempt organization search, whichever way you want to do it, as long as you land on this page here, which is tax-exempt organization search, formerly select checked. So now I am going to scroll down because I've done this so many times. I'm not going to read through all of this information here. You are welcome to read through it, and I encourage you to read through it if you desire. But I'm just going to go here to click on tax exempt organization search. And you have the tax exempt organization search page. And you have choices in which you can use to search for organizations. So I'm going to just click on, I'm going to search all of the databases, and I'm going to click on employer identification number as my search by, not click on it, but keep it as my search by option. And I'm just going to type in the employer identification number. So I'm going to type in 42-1672537. This is an EIN that I know very well. So I'm going to click on search. And as I scroll down, I will see Comprehensive Community-Based Solutions Incorporated in Rock Hill, South Carolina. And I'm going to click on the link to that organization to get more information, basically to check the status. And you don't see any revocation documentation for this organization. And you see a history of this organization filing the Form 990 information returns each year. So this lets me know that this organization is in good terms, or is on good terms. Is on good terms with the IRS. That's what I get for reading and talking at the same time. This organization has 501c3 status because you don't see any place on here that says this organization is revoked. And it also lists all of the years that you can see that this organization filed the Form 990 information return. And when you see a Form 990 information return, just as a side note, you know that this organization did not generate more than $50,000 a year for those years. You can only file a Form 990 in e-postcard if you generated $50,000 or less. So that lets me know that they did not generate $50,000. They did not generate over $50,000 for the years listed here. For the years not listed, that doesn't mean they didn't file. That means during those years, they generated more than $50,000 a year. So in 2010, 2011, 2012, and 2013, you see they're not listed here, but that only means that they filed a different Form 990 to indicate that they generated more than $50,000 a year. So I'm just talking a little bit too much. I just want to share that information with you because this is my nonprofit organization. I operate Comprehensive Community-Based Solutions Incorporated out of Rock Hill, South Carolina. I knew my EIN by heart because I've recited it so many times over the years. And we're not offering any programs right now, but I file my Form 990 in e-postcard information return every year so that I can maintain my status. Because if you don't generate revenues, if you don't offer any programs like I don't right now, I generate zero revenues, you still must file. And that's where some people miss it. They lose their status because they assume, well, I'm not doing anything with it. So why would I file a Form 990? Effective 2006, the IRS said that you must file a Form 990 information return, whichever one is relevant to the amount of revenues you generate every single year, even if it's zero, if you want to maintain your status. So again, even though I'm not offering any programs right now, I don't want to lose my status because I may offer programs in the future and I want to still have that option. Another reason, and I'm going to say this and then I'm going to close. Another reason you don't want to lose your status is even though you reinstate your status at the automatic revocation from the IRS, it's still going to show in your records forever that you were revoked. And you don't want to have that blemish on your record because naturally, when people investigate your nonprofit and see that it's been revoked, they're going to wonder why. What happened? You don't want that on your record. So every year, when your Form 990 is due, make sure you file it on time. How do you know when yours is due? Good question. The Form 990 information return is due by the 5th month and 15th day after your fiscal year ends. The 5th month and the 5th month and the 15th day after your fiscal year ends. So for example, if your fiscal year ends on December the 31st, then your Form 990 information return is due by May 15th the next year. So to summarize, unfortunately, the IRS revoked the 501c3 status of many nonprofit organizations by mistake this year. I've already explained how that happened, so I'm not going to go over that again. Just rewind this video if you missed it. I wanted to walk you through the steps to checking the status of 501c3 nonprofit organizations so that you can check your own status if you ever need to check your status. You can check your own status at any time. Thank you so much for your time. I'm Susan Woods of Susan Woods Nonprofit Solutions. Please visit my website at www.trustsusanwoods.com. That's www.trustsusanwoods.com. Go ahead, check your 501c3 status. Make sure you are current. Make sure the information shows directly on this screen with the IRS. This is fundraising season for nonprofit organizations. October through December represent 3 months, the 4th quarter of the year, in which nonprofit organizations generate the most revenues. So you certainly don't want to have any problems with the status of your 501c3 nonprofit organization during this time of the year. Again, I'm Susan Woods, and thank you for your time.